So apparently my cars are playing games with me these days, demanding my attention. So last Friday night there, come out from work and that pouring rain from the leftovers of Hurricane Nicole. And guess what? I get in the car and there's a waterfall coming out of the dome light. So the next day, the sunroof got silicone sealed all the way around. I did the top of the windshield also. Then my son informs me, oh, you know, there's like 4 drain tubes coming out of that. They go down the pillars and all that. And I'm like, well, you know, either way, it got silicone sealed. So anyway, lots of fun with that. Then the HHR said, hey, stand back. I can do better than that. So wife comes out like Tuesday morning to start it. Click, click. Yeah. So I get home that night, boost it, click. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess it's a starter. Go to pull the starter off, made some phone calls, and yeah, touching $300 for a starter, and they didn't have it in stock. You'd have to get it the next day, order it overnight. So I'm like, well, I'll just pull that off of there and have a look at it and see. So I had a spare battery and booster cable, so I tested it on the floor. You know, you stand on it and you connect the solenoid wire, and you know, you wire it up. And it worked about half the time. The starter motor itself wouldn't fire up. So I'm like, well, I got nothing to lose. A little bit of time down my 5-inch vise there. Maybe I can cure it. But anyway, yeah. Long story short, I did. Got the starter working A1 just by cleaning and I sanding the armature and you know, like that. Mainly brush dust inside. So anyway, 3-4 days later here now, the HHR get in it this morning. Wiped some snow on the windshield. I like clean the windshield with snow, and went to hit it. Passenger side wiper stayed down, didn't move. Driver's side's flopping around. So anyway, later in the video here, so that's what was wrong with it. This link here came off. Sits in there like that. It's really not hard to remove, you know, 3 screws. Getting these guys off, the wipers, I wasn't overly impressed there. I couldn't get pry bars on them. Ended up having to use vice grips. I backed the nut off and then yanked them and got them off, but that eventually worked. But you got to remove this big monstrosity here. So anyway, I'm going to put it back together there and see how it all works out. Hopefully it'll work just fine. You need 7mm to get the 4 screws out of this, and I believe the ones on there are 15mm for the wiper themselves. And like I say, I don't have a puller or anything, but hooked on there with some vice grips and enough yanking and pulling on the bar, and she snapped loose. It's just the cone that it mounts on there. Anyway, lots of fun. Time to test her out here. It's going to try to get dark on me here soon. We got some snow on the ground here now. I hear Buffalo got 6 foot 5 inches, 77 inches of snow. We got, you know, what is there, 6 inches on the ground, compacted there. So I guess I shouldn't complain there. Got the old trailer jacked up in the air there and keep the snow out of the bed. Hopefully. Oh, I see. I gotta remove the tailgate on it there to let the snow out. That's my roof rake for the shed sitting in it there, and the 2.5-inch stainless exhaust off the Corolla that went to the scrapyard. So got some icicles hanging here. I busted them off. And I had a 2 Briggs weekend. Got a 5-horse and a 2-horse Briggs. So haven't got them to display right now. They're put away out of the snow. But yeah, it looks like winter came. So like I say, Buffalo, they sure got her. But the snow's here now, and it'll probably stay. Right when my cars decide to start breaking down, so I gotta fix them. Isn't this just a joy, eh? Anyway, everybody have a good one. So here I've got the wiper unit off the 2007 HHR, and this joint here just pops on and off. So it just fell off because there's like no bolt or anything to hold it. It's just this I gotta unscrew it from the... Wait, this nylon piece here just pushes onto this ball-like object here. Now, what I'm doing to fix this, I've drilled a 16th inch hole straight through there, out the back side, and I'm going to try a 16th cotter pin. So now, I have to reinstall this and drill through from the other side to get a hole in here. I'll have to make it larger because that thing, it does a little bit of rotation to it. That's why it's a ball joint and not just a like a pin. So anyway, that's the next step here. You know, most people would say, well, why don't you just put a new part on? Well, I don't know. For one thing, it's Sunday and a lot of part stores aren't open, and plus I'm a mechanic, not a tech. I don't just replace parts. I like fixing stuff. And they should have done this in the first place. This is like not the best way to build things, in my humble opinion here. Anyway, we'll see how it works out. Well, there, got her done. Cotter pin comes through from the back side here. Hopefully you can see that. Up through. Made a special brass washer for it there. So it's like a 1 inch by 16th cotter pin. It was just barely long enough actually. But yeah, so I drilled a 16th hole through the shaft there, and then I went well, it was just under 1/8 inch. I drilled a 3/32 hole through the nylon part there, and then I put a 5/64 hole in the brass washer. So I wanted a little bit of clearance there. So hopefully it's got enough swivel to it that it'll let it rock. So I'll find out when I put it on the car and give her a test run there. So that's what comes next. But at least she's not going to fall apart tomorrow. My wife says, well, why don't you just get another part for it? I'm like, well, yeah, that's okay. First of all, probably have to go Rock Auto or somewhere, or the dealership. But either way, the car's not going to be it's not going to be working on the car tomorrow, is it? Because it's going to take some time to get that part in. Plus, why spend who knows how much money when, you know, my rivet that I already had, and well, you know, what are we going to say here? Half an hour of my time doing this, something like that. I already had to tear it off the car anyways, but so, you know, I enjoy fixing things. This is actually the second thing I had to do this week. The starter on the HHR died too, so it was down here on the bench since they wanted, well, you might as well call it $300 for a new one. Plus, again, they didn't have it in stock, so had to would have had to wait. So I come down here and a foot wide strip of 1200 grit sandpaper on the commutator there, and cleaned her all up to get all the grit from that out. Cleaned all of the carbon off the brushes. Oiled up the two bushings / bearings in it, and cleaned the threaded connections where the wires go on to. Basically did a clean job, an oil job on it, and what do you know, it's working A1 again. So saved myself $300. Now, by the same token, I did order one online for a replacement, because you never know how long a repair like that will hold. Just like this, I can't guarantee it'll last 100,000 miles, but you never know, it might, right? So anyway, time to reinstall it on the car there and see if I actually fixed anything. Okay, so we're going to try the windshield wipers here. Holy jeez, they work. There you go. So the repair was successful. And I do have to add one little caveat here at the end. I'm kind of grateful that, not grateful that the starter died or that that wiper died. However, I went on a 3.5 hour drive Friday night that Nicole was hitting. So if the starter had died on that trip, or the wiper had died on that trip, it wouldn't have been fun time. So if they had to go, at least they went at times that were more convenient for me. So I am grateful for that. I just wanted to add that.